What is going on? It is episode, I think, 458 of the Nintendo Powercast. I am one of your hosts, Nightcrawler724, Crawler coming at you. We also have Cheesy. Cheesy, how's it going?
What's going on, cheese curds? I think it's going to be kind of a weird night. We just finished up doing a podcast with Nintendo Prime, so we're a little wacky and snacky. I'm eating tagalongs.
I'm hungry. I wish I got food. Is that a Girl Scout cookie?
Sure is. The tagalong, peanut butter, crunch, whatever it is.
Yep.
Delicious.
We also got Johnny Bo. Johnny, how's it going?
What's up? I'm hype.
Totally. But yeah, I titled this one Where's the Direct Part 2? Because we're just going to continue going on. Where's the February Direct? And we had the update from Xbox on their business dealings today, but I think everyone was kind of expecting more than what we got. Like they did drop some like interesting hints, like kind of hinting that the June showcase that they're going to do this summer will probably be a pretty big deal, specifically with new hardware. But otherwise, it was kind of like, hey, we're doing this thing. We'll wait until they tell you about it, but we're not gonna spoil their fun. But yeah,
I saw somebody say it could have been a tweet.
That was me.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, thanks for the credit.
Well, I saw somebody else say it too, so maybe you weren't that original.
No, probably not. I feel like everybody felt that way because it was just like, yeah, 4 games are coming to other consoles, but we can't tell you what they are. And it almost felt like you're in like middle school or high school where someone's like, I heard so and so say, but you didn't hear it from me.
And then then everybody knows what they are anyway. Or we're pretty sure we know what they are.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because that whole last Wednesday was that when it kind of dropped rumors?
I think so.
Because I think we talked about it a little bit last week, but not a whole lot. And then they like wanted a week to get their affairs in order to like talk about this, but like then all it was just them sitting in a studio talking about it for 23 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it was like 20. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, could have been a tweet. Like they had some B-roll that they put up. They confirmed that Starfield and Indiana Jones were not the games that would be going somewhere else. Starfield probably needs it.
I think there was a silent yet at the end of that sentence.
Yeah.
Starfield and
they pretty
Indiana
much confirmed
Jones.
Everything is at least a year old. They did confirm that. It's not going to be any of the major tent poles like Gears and Halo, which everyone was kind of running wild with last week. But yeah, I mean, I think the 4 rumored games are two community games and 2 smaller games, and
small single player games.
Yeah, so the community games are rumored to be Sea of Thieves and what's the kid Honey I Shrunk the Kids game?
Grounded.
And then the single player games are rumored to be Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment, right?
Yeah, Pentiment, yeah.
Which got a really high score from a lot of people in the industry, but it's like a visual kind of novel.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. I know Obsidian made it.
It's like a medieval like those kind of medieval type drawings that you would see but like in like a fairy tale book, but they have conversations with each other. It like got really good reviews, but I think am I thinking about the right game?
I don't know. Are you talking about so. like a pop-up book?
Let me make sure.
all I know about it is the cover art, and I just don't know what it means, what it is. But it does look
Yeah.
like it would be like a visual novel.
It is. Here, I have IGN. IGN has 16 minutes of gameplay, so we can see it here.
But
I
that's the
mean-
one that I'm least interested in.
Yeah, it's the one I'm least interested in as well. And it's like I have access to all these on Game Pass. Their Xbox said they're committed to crossplay and cross save and that kind of stuff. So if you do want to double dip, you can definitely pick up kind of where you are.
Why at the beginning they were erasing the book with a tag along?
I think it was a rock.
I don't look like a tag along.
Yeah, this does not look like my type of game.
Johnny doesn't
There's
play
a
games
lot.
for story, and I think all this game is story.
Is reading and story.
I mean, it's not a Josh game either. It's not necessarily my
It looks
kind of game.
it looks I like the art style.
Yeah, I mean, it looks nice, but it's very stop and read kind of game, and that's
It does look like something that would look really good on a Nintendo Switch OLED.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean that's one of the rumored games. So I think all 4 of those games are definitely capable of running on the Switch. But it's a matter of, I mean, and that's selling it to a big market, like, and that's kind of what Phil Spencer was talking about. It's like we can find a way to monetize, like further monetize our current player base, or we can find a ways to expand, and it's not really hurting anything. It's been out for a year already. It's at
It's
least a
hurting
year.
my feelings. All right. I bought the Xbox Series X. I've been a loyal Xbox fan and user.
Didn't
for
you just buy a
years.
PlayStation Portal and a
Yeah.
Steam Deck?
And a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but very loyal.
No, I mean, I think these games, I'm pretty sure like they're banking on Nintendo to sell these games, because I doubt many people are going to buy it on PlayStation. I don't.
Grounded's not like Grounded. I've tried it. Grounded's not really my thing, but I think they could see, especially a live service game, they could probably, and if they price it right, being maybe a $20 entry point for Sea of Thieves and Grounded. And I don't know, I think Sea of Thieves definitely has additional monetization strategies.
Yeah, it
I don't
has cosmetics.
I don't know if Grounded does or not, but like having more players just infused into that player base would probably be beneficial. And
So
I
Sea
could
of Thieves
I could see Sea of Thieves doing well everywhere.
Sea of Thieves will probably be $40, because it's $40 right now on Steam.
Okay.
But I think people on Switch will buy that just because it's made by Rare.
I think that and just pirates. People love pirates.
And they got Monkey Island stuff in there too.
And
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Yes, I think so. I think there was a tie-in once upon a time for that. I don't know if
Wonder
that's
if they'll do like a crossover with a Nintendo property to get people to buy it on Nintendo. They can make like Mario flag or something.
Don't you play a game on a pirate ship in Splatoon? In there,
Manta Maria.
yeah. They
Yeah.
could have that be a skin for your ship.
Or like a Wind Waker kind of DLC.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
You could be a Davy Jones Octoling or something like that.
That game's been out for a long time.
6 years, I think. And it was
And there's-
previewed even longer than that.
I think there's so much content in it now. Like people picking that up for the first time. There's just going to be so much content for them to find.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I think we've said it before, but Hi-Fi Rush is, I think, going to boom on Switch. It's going to do way better than it did on Xbox. I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean, it just kind of seems like it fits the Nintendo aesthetic.
Yeah, and I mean, what were the numbers last week? 139 million switches,
Or
right?
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's quite a bit, and 120 million active users apparently, allegedly.
Mhm.
Yeah, but you got to divide the Switches bought by 6 because everybody has at least 6 Switches out there.
Not everybody's you, Johnny.
At least.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely there's a lot of potential there, and then, like you said, I think even last year when that game was stealth dropped, it was like, this definitely looks like it could fit well in with the Nintendo crowd,
Yeah.
because it's kind of like Jet Set-y, right? Like, it's yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's there. We got a comment here talking about Xbox wanting to get Sea of Thieves out on PlayStation before Ubisoft's Skull and Bones gets a huge player base. Because I think, didn't Skull and Bones, is it officially out now, or is it still in like open public beta?
It comes out tomorrow.
Oh, does it really? Okay.
Yeah, officially comes out tomorrow. And like, it's people do not like it. So
No.
I don't think it's gonna.
They
I don't think
didn't capture the good faith that they had with Black Flag and just take that and make it better. They tried to
I
add
might actually
much to it.
have a code for it.
Oh yeah, Johnny's a
I think
Ubisoft
I
partner. Don't talk
Yeah,
ill.
I think I got a code
Johnny.
for it. I mean, I joined this program to get Star Wars. That is my main goal.
True. Yeah, and that's this year, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I do think I have. Hold on, let's see. I think I do have a code, so I should be experiencing that game at least.
Yeah, and I mean, they're kind of the same thing, but also one is self-aware of itself, I think, with Sea of Thieves, and the other, I think, is been in development hell for too long that it doesn't know what it wants to be.
To be fair, Sea of Thieves got off to a really rocky start. Like, it took a while for them to get any bearing under them.
I got hold on. I got something for that. Hold on. Where is it? Too many things. There it is.
Timing.
that landed. That landed.
Mm-hmm.
But Sea of Thieves, like, I think I'll pick up Sea of Thieves and Hi-Fi Rush on Switch, maybe even Grounded. I probably won't get Pentiment. Maybe I'll get them all. Just, to
just make your videos, Johnny. Make your money back.
Make the money back. Maybe they'll have discounts for Game Pass subscribers.
That would be kind of crazy.
Probably not.
But if you could purchase it through the Xbox store and get a code, then maybe, who knows? You never know.
I never actually got into Sea of Thieves because it's like a co-op game, and I just don't
better
have
with friends. Yep.
friends.
I only played a little bit, but
friends. Same with like Helldivers. Like, I want to play Helldivers, but I don't really have any, like, I don't want to play with other people. Not that I could probably find people to play with, but I just want to play by myself. But these games make it difficult to play by yourself.
Apparently there's unwritten rules on what the player bases are doing in Helldivers, and they're like sharing the loot and doing stuff pretty well. But I might pick it up with you and play it for $40.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely not foam. It's probably better than foam stars.
Yeah, you tried that out last week after we got off.
But so since we're getting Sea of Thieves, we have Banjo on the Switch.
Mhm.
Are we getting Rare Replay?
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier with Nintendo Prime. Like that is prime low hanging fruit. Like for them just to put out, they could sell it a la carte if they wanted to, because that's kind of how the game was packaged. Like initially on Xbox when I bought it, the disc has a few like really classic games from Rare that weren't in the Xbox Live Arcade, but anything that had a separate kind of SKU in the Xbox Live store via Xbox Live Arcade was just the disc was just a download key to just download all these games. You downloaded them separate from the game. They were on your system. You could play them, but it was like the first iteration of the game is just a key kind of thing, because you could see it outside of the game, but to play it, you had to go get into it through the game.
It also launched in the, like, if you played Banjo-Kazooie, it launched in the 360 launcher. So, like if you're on Xbox One, it would go into its 360 launcher. So I don't even know how that would work on Switch.
Whoop.
Lost Cheesy.
I'm here. Back. I don't know what's going on tonight.
Yeah, I mean, how it would work on Switch, it would just be, the whole thing would be redone. I mean, not redone,
on
but
the cart.
It would not fit on a cart.
You don't think so? Those games are small.
No, it was pretty sizable eventually. It's like 30 games. Okay, some of the stuff is small. Some of it they could probably fit on a 10 gig card. But like Perfect Dark, maybe it was just because of the HD graphics and stuff that they were putting into some of them. But like I feel like it took up, because there's Viva Pinata. There was I could pull up what everything is in.
Conquer, Banjo Tooie.
Yeah, and I mean I don't know what the full download size was, but we've already started getting some of it. We got Jet Force Gemini added to Switch Online. So maybe they just play nice and find a way to get some of the like classic stuff added to Switch Online, but I don't know. But that I think that's the prime game to find its way to Switch if they're gonna kind of just go forward with it all.
I wonder if they're going to, like, they're like, oh yeah, 4 games for bringing to other platforms, but then in the direct they're gonna be like, here's Rare Replay, and it's the 5th game, but it's only come to Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Because it's not only just going to be 4 games. Like this is just the start.
Yeah.
They're testing the waters. There's a bunch of other games that have been out for a year that they could put on other platforms. I don't remember if Fallout, like Fallout 76. I don't know if that was on PlayStation.
I think it is.
Like, I don't remember when they acquired Bethesda.
Yeah, it's on PlayStation. It's on PlayStation 4. So that it's playable probably on PlayStation 5.
Okay. And they thought there was Deathloop was another one that was going to be, that's not exclusive to Xbox anymore. That's on PlayStation.
Well, Deathloop wasn't initially wasn't
PlayStation.
It was PlayStation because they had signed the contract before the purchase of Bethesda.
It's like,
and I don't think that
Redfall would be one. that maybe they put on.
Is that worth the time and effort?
I don't know, probably not. Psychonauts, I think, would work really well, especially on Nintendo platforms. I
Yeah.
don't remember if the first one's on Nintendo. I don't think
No.
it is. Actually, I could like turn on my Xbox and look at what's on Game Pass. But I doubt we'll see like Halo or Gears of War, like those tentpole exclusive games. I doubt we'll ever see them on.
Yeah,
Xbox
PlayStation would never
or-
have Forza come over. They would.
Yeah,
I mean,
Forza one. Maybe Fable. Fable would be a good one to.
yeah.
I'm just thinking about Nintendo. Like, I don't care about PlayStation, but I think Fable would work really well on Nintendo consoles.
What's this new version of Fable going to look like? Are you talking about the old ones, or are you talking about the
Yeah,
new
the old
one?
ones.
Yeah, the old ones would. Yeah,
Because
they should be able to run.
there's a Fable collection, I think.
Did they release something
thinking.
like that with all? Are there? Because there's 3 games, right?
Yeah, there's 3 games, and then there's like a weird Connect game.
Was there?
Yeah. All right, let's see. I can check.
I played the
can check
first
Game
one. I
Pass
don't
right
think
now.
I played the second or third one.
But there's a Connect version.
I think there's a Connect. Pretty sure there's a Connect edition of Fable. I'm trying to see if there's a way you could just look for first party games.
Oh, are you on Game Pass?
Core catalog. Let's see. Yeah, Fable Anniversary. Oh, that's a 360 game though.
So do you guys really think that the direct was pushed because of this podcast episode?
Yes, I do.
After seeing it, I hope not. Like,
Yeah.
but as we were like breaking stuff down earlier tonight with Nintendo Prime, like, what all is gonna be in this direct? Like, if it's gonna be a full size direct, I guess they can surprise us and do something that we haven't known about. Do something to some kind of game in June or July, I guess, before the rumored kind of Switch 2 comes out, and with an announcement that, hey, Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be called is a thing. Stay tuned in the next couple months for a reveal, a full deep dive into the console and what it's capable of. Pre-orders to happen after that kind of deal. But right now we have remake that already came out in January, remake coming out tomorrow, new game coming out next month, remake in the pipe, right? Like without release dates, and
Side Order.
And Side Order coming out next week.
I know it's not a full game, but did you guys watch the previews for it?
I haven't.
Yeah, it's gonna be baby's first roguelike. It is 100%.
No, man. You don't think that it's going to be as difficult as Octo Expansion?
No, that person was on the 27th floor.
Yeah,
on the
but
hard
okay.
difficulty.
So you didn't watch the previews then.
It was hard difficulty on 27th floor. Looked like a joke.
Yeah, but you don't know what their loadout was, or if that was even just,
or how many times they'd gone through it.
or
But
just
it
the
didn't
demo
look hard though. It didn't look hard.
Yeah, but okay. I mean, I don't know. We don't know. We didn't get to play it, but I think that
Yeah,
could be a
beat
demo.
it
You
in a
think that there's
sitting.
only 30 levels?
You're supposed to beat it in a sitting. It's a roguelike.
Yeah, but you're supposed to keep doing it over and over and over again. That's what roguelikes are. And then, like, once you level up enough and you get used to the gameplay, that's when you beat it.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a feeling you're going to play through it once and just be done.
No.
Put a bet on it.
But like the rumored stuff that I mean everyone has kind of wanted is Twilight Princess and Wind Waker
More
HD.
remakes.
Yeah.
Nobody is.
So that-
everybody is so boring.
So that is
Remakes,
that is the
remakes.
problem, right? Like we can't have unless they come out with Silk Song in this direct. Like what
Which was announced 5 years ago today, right?
is today the anniversary of it?
Or
think
yeah,
it's
it was like
5 years.
maybe not today, but it was this week.
But like what would it take for it to be a February
So
14th, 2019
it's-
is when it was announced.
It was definitely a partner direct or whatever they call it, partner showcase, and they were going to show the Xbox games. And then,
Yeah.
the leaks happened and Xbox changed their plan. Even though he did say like they've been planning this since like December or something.
Yeah, and Phil Spencer also said that he wanted them to the individual studios to be able to announce their games coming to other places in their own way. Why take 8 days to put together a 23-minute nothing kind of podcast that doesn't even announce the 4 games? It seems weird.
It was weird. It was a weird
I was expecting a whole lot more out of the thing today. We got Diablo 4 coming to Game Pass, which I already bought.
at the end of March. Like it was,
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like out now. No, it's like at end of March.
And they kind of confirmed that most Blizzard Activision stuff was going to be coming into Game Pass, right?
They said all of it. It will all
Okay.
be there.
Which was everyone was kind of wondering if Call of Duty was going to find its way. I mean, that doesn't affect. Well, it does affect Nintendo because they said they're going to be developing Call of Duty for the Switch. Well, Nintendo. They didn't say Switch, I guess, did they? Ever back then in the court documents?
I don't remember. I think
Or
they
in
said they
open
like
court.
regret not developing for the Switch. Something like that.
Activision said that?
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, we're getting before the next Call of Duty comes out, we're getting a new console. Yeah.
would think
yeah,
so.
because it'll be out this year. I don't know. I think Nintendo annoys me.
Tell us how you really feel, Johnny.
So we had the Xbox. I forget what they called that. It was like a showcase or something.
The developer showcase or
Developer showcase at the end of January. Then we had a state of play, like the first week of February. And then we had the Final Fantasy thing, like the next week.
Yep.
Now we have this Xbox thing, and Nintendo's like, "Nah, we're gonna be boring and not announce anything."
Well, didn't Sony also say that the PlayStation 5 is on the way out now?
Oh yeah. Apparently it was a mistranslation. I think it was translated to be that it's in the latter stage of its life, but it really meant second half of its life or something. I don't know. Anyway, you idiots who bought a PlayStation 5 like recently, dummies.
Johnny, didn't you just buy a Portal and a Steam Deck?
Yeah, but I already had a PS5. Like the Portal doesn't
Portal's
add anything to
a
it.
peripheral for it.
Yeah.
You have to
The
have a
Steam Deck was a
PlayStation.
great purchase. I don't know why that one's involved. I meant the PlayStation 5 has 7 exclusives. 7 total exclusives
Uh-huh.
in 3 years.
Uh-huh.
That's garbage. And now they're saying that they're pretty much done with it.
What are the exclusives? So we have
It's Demon
Got it.
Souls, Returnal, Ratchet and Clank,
God of War,
Spider-Man 2. I can't remember the other ones.
God of War.
But like God of War doesn't count because it's on PS4. Horizon.
Oh, you're talking PS5 only.
Yeah,
Okay.
PS5 exclusives.
Call of the Mountain.
Oh, is that like a VR game?
Mhm.
Anyway, the point of the story is don't buy a PlayStation 5 right now.
Don't buy an Xbox right now, apparently, because
Well,
they're gonna have new
also said
they're gonna have
there's-
new hardware.
They also said they're not releasing any large franchise like games within this fiscal year. First party like we're not getting Last of Us, we're not getting Uncharted, we're not getting like existing IP. They did say existing. We could
Is
get
Marathon
new IP.
supposed to come out this year? Not that's not going to be exclusive because that's going to be on all platforms, but not Switch.
I don't know
but-
what's happening with that game. But yeah, I mean, they did say existing, so we could get new IP. Like Rise of Ronin is exclusive. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is exclusive.
That's not
but-
even first party though.
But like Nintendo made the right move by like going lower cost and focusing on their IP. Because now they're set. Like they probably have a bunch of games ready to go when the new system comes out.
Yeah, I mean, and that's part of the problem with just like where we're at right now with games. Like they're so expensive to develop. Like at least on the Xbox and PlayStation side, I don't know. I think Nintendo kind of keeps it very tight to their vest and doesn't really splurge too much on how much a game is costing them. But like most all of their stuff is at least a million seller, and then the big ones are coming out and running up on the charts on their top 10 of all time right now on a platform that's almost their number one selling console ever, or hardware unit ever. Yeah, I mean, it's expensive to develop games, and we're seeing just everything kind of catch up, and it's difficult. And I feel like they're all chasing the same kind of thing too. Like we're chasing extraction shooters, or we're chasing survival games, or we're chasing like they see one offshoot of a genre kind of take hold, and everyone tries to chase it down. And development time on a game takes 4 to 5 years, especially if you're starting up from scratch. Longer if you're scrapping a game entirely, if you're Metroid Prime 4. And they come late to the party where everyone's already gone and moved past it.
Mm-hmm.
And then these companies have wasted all this money, and they're like, nobody wants to buy our game. Why are we doing this? Like we're setting ourselves up in a bubble where the things people want to play, companies aren't able. Like I'd rather people take the time and develop a really cool IP and market it well, because everything right now is just chasing somebody else that's doing something remotely successful, or they're remaking or remastering something that is 20, 30 years old. It's I mean, we're in the same kind of movies have kind of gotten out of that a little bit, I think, but movies were always chasing or remaking something. I was kind of surprised by Twisters being announced at the Super Bowl or whatever. I didn't realize we were due for a sequel to a movie made in 1995 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know. We're in a weird spot right now. They have these the most powerful consoles ever with PlayStation 5 and Xbox, which are struggling to run the games that were made for them well. Like, and that's kind of surprising. And then we're kind of in a holding pattern on the Switch, where we don't know what's going to happen, if the successor is going to be backwards compatible or not. If it's not that it
I think it has to be, right?
It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
At this point, with how much.
It doesn't have to be. They could be greedy.
Sure, they could.
Honestly, it would probably be.
It's more beneficial for them if they don't make it.
Yeah, because backwards compatibility is a consumer friendly thing, but not a company friendly thing. And there's all those like studies about how people don't even use it. Like people don't even actually care about backwards compatibility. Like it's a big talking point, but people don't actually care. Like honestly, when the Switch 2 comes out, why would I play the Switch games?
So you're telling me that you're never going back to Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah, when they release the deluxe versions.
No, there's not going to be any deluxe.
If there's no backwards compatibility, they definitely are doing that. They're 100%,
especially Tears of the Kingdom, and develop DLC for it.
They kind of have to be backwards compatible because consumers will be mad at them if they're not.
Yeah,
but I kind of wish that it wasn't. It
kind of it forces them to have a good lineup at launch. Yeah. But most consoles don't. Most consoles do not have Breath of the Wild. Look back at the 360, one of the arguably one of the best consoles made, did not have a good launch lineup. Perfect Dark Zero or whatever it was not great. I couldn't even tell you what some of the other games were on there. Was Project Gotham Racing on there at the launch, or was that a little bit later?
Cameo?
Project Gotham was original Xbox. What was the 360?
Isn't Cameo?
Cameo is there, I think. Yeah. I don't know. Like there weren't a lot of great games initially.
Yeah. So what I think we're seeing it now with Midfight Senpai says I would much rather see no backwards compatibility. I feel like it stifles growth. Let's move forward. Like what we're seeing now with the PS4, PS5 generation is we're seeing that they got stuck having to support the PS4, and then now we just don't have, like, you have to cut it off at a point. And them having PS5 be backwards compatible, I think forced them or made them think like, hey, we could just make these games PS4 and then just be like, hey, you can play it on PS5 with slightly better graphics.
Yeah.
And now we don't have any exclusives.
Xbox has committed to like going forward that everything just like works. And that's something baked into what they're doing now moving forward. They've had to do a lot of stuff to make original Xbox work, 360 work, all that kind of stuff on the Xbox One and Xbox Series. But going forward, it's all just baked in because it's pretty much a PC in a box. It's a stripped down PC that just works and it's there. So they're not changing their architecture. Like that's the biggest problem with the PS3 is just the architecture was so prohibitive on it working outside. Devs for PS3 couldn't even really build games very well for it. So having to have it, and they had like the initial PS3 that was backwards compatible with PS2 just had like a PS2 built inside the PS3, and
that was the $600 one.
Yeah, get a new job or get a second job.
Yeah, like that has to add cost to it, right? Like
you're having an extra processor in there that's doing its own thing. Xbox has found a way around it for the older stuff by just building an emulator inside with software, but going forward, it's just they're working off the same kind of just it's all built into the same kind of system. But Nintendo likes to innovate and change and do stuff. I mean, I don't know what we're gonna say. They could completely flip the script and change it. But I don't know. It's scary to think about change, I guess. And we like what we have. We want it to be better, a better version of what we have, but that's not like groundbreaking or changing anything. And look at all the companies that have kind of copied it. Like you have one in your house, two in your house, Johnny. You have Steam Deck and the port.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
the
Portal's
Steam
different.
Deck, like the ones that copied it, like Steam Deck, I really like it, but it's a handheld device.
Yeah.
You could get a dock for it, but it's not the Switch experience where you just put it in.
There's a Steam Deck like one though that has like removable controllers, right? I don't know what it's called.
I forget what that's called. But yeah, you need either like a keyboard and mouse or like an outside controller. So they don't do it as well as the Switch, that hybrid functionality. I mean, I think like if they have backwards compatibility, I hope they don't have a ton of cross-gen titles. Like I hope they have Switch 2 titles, but it also plays Switch games. But like if Mario Kart 9 is on Switch 2, I don't want it to be playable on the regular Switch.
You want them
I
to
agree.
jump to the jump
with
to the
that.
next generation. Don't look back. Don't do the Band-Aid that PlayStation backpedaled and did. Everything is just it'll play your old stuff, but going forward, we're only developing for this.
If people will buy a system for games, like that's what I feel like PlayStation didn't understand is like people would buy a PS5 for like God of War Ragnarok if it wasn't on PS4. Same.
The only reason that they did that is because they couldn't keep up with demand. That's the only reason they did that. Because I think that was wasn't that or was it Forbidden West was a planned PS5 only title?
They were all, I forget. They made a announcement. I forget what it was. It was they announced that God of War Ragnarok was going to be PS4, PS5. Horizon Forbidden West, PS4, PS5. Like they announced that these games are going to be cross-gen, and then the first game that really they didn't say that for was Spider-Man 2, and that was their first. I think
Ratchet and Clank wasn't available.
Ratchet and Clank was PS5 only.
But that was because of the rifts and all that kind of stuff. Which
it works
was
on
cool,
Steam Deck.
but I feel like it was not like did not need the power of the PS5 to do that. What it did,
because it works on Steam Deck.
Well, yeah, and I was expecting to fall through multiple rifts at any point, but it's these set points that you have to activate the rift to go through. It was not what I thought they had advertised when I played Ratchet and Clank. Cryptic has an interesting question. Do you guys want straight backwards compatibility or do you want old games with enhancements? Like, because Xbox has your old games but better. Like,
yeah, I like the way they do it.
I don't know if that's in Nintendo to kind of do that, but like if the system is more powerful, like Xenoblade 2, Xenoblade 3 with all that crap on the screen, potentially would run better. Like it would be enhanced just by the sheer power of the hardware. I don't know if they necessarily need to. Maybe they patch it real quick to be like, maybe a texture pack. They kind of did that with Xenoblade X. Like there was like a enhanced graphical download or whatever you could have. Not that Wii U got any better,
13
but
gigs.
Yeah, I bought an external hard drive for my PS or my Wii U before everything went offline, so I could have.
So are these enhancements free, or do you got to pay for them?
Yeah, I mean that's a good question. I mean, I think the power of the system would just hopefully make it better because we're seeing the Switch suffer right now with frame rate, with graphical fidelity.
If we have enhancements, there's no reason for deluxe versions. We can get rid of the deluxe line.
We're not getting rid of deluxe. We're not. We are not. They are not getting rid of it. It worked last generation. They're doing it.
It worked last generation though because of the Wii U.
Because nobody
Wii
bought
U
the games.
Yeah.
But you think if they release a Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Deluxe, people will buy the heck out of that game.
That is one instance. I see that
Deluxe.
being that. What else?
ARMS Deluxe.
No, just make a sequel.
They are definitely going to release deluxe versions. In the first year, they will 100% do it.
I hope not, because that's a waste of their resources.
But it won't take. I mean, not much of the resources. The game's already made.
If it's backwards compatible, there's no reason for them to do a deluxe version. If
there's always a reason.
Well,
there's
money.
Always a reason.
Yes, money. But I see it being a net negative for them if they make a separate SKU. I don't want to pay for an upgrade, but I also definitely don't want to pay $60 or $70 for a game I have and maybe even possibly play.
I mean, I can see them doing $10 upgrades. But I could also see them doing a deluxe version of Breath of the Wild. The game's how many years old at this point? And then you put the DLC in there, put some more DLC in there. Like that could be a deluxe version. Because the reason they would do a deluxe version, like nobody's buying Breath of the Wild. Like not as many people are buying Breath of the Wild right now. But you put out a new SKU, advertise it as a new SKU, people will buy it.
So
like,
then
not everybody has bought Breath of the Wild. Not everybody has bought Breath of the Wild.
A lot of people have, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people have, but not everybody. People that are just getting into Nintendo games when the Switch 2 comes out haven't bought it.
Johnny,
and they're
not
not
all of
going
us can
to
buy 2 copies of every game.
Yeah, but I'm not saying people are going to buy 2 copies. I'm saying new people. You'll get diehards that buy 2 copies.
Nintendo would still make money. They would still make money if they just
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
No, I want Mario Kart 9. No,
that's all I gotta say though.
No,
it sold 8 million copies on the Wii U
because it was on the Wii U.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
but it's on those same people bought it on the Switch. We all bought
because
it on both.
Because they couldn't
all bought it on both
because they couldn't play with the people that were playing it on Switch.
But it doesn't matter. We would have still bought it. That's why they release a new SKU, to get new people that haven't experienced it.
But man, it's like you're comparing apples to like watermelons.
No, I'm not. It's the same exact thing.
It's the Wii U versus the Switch.
It's the same thing. Like you'll have your diehards. You'll have 8 million people buy it who already bought it on the Switch. That's a guaranteed. And then you'll have the new people and everybody that comes down the line later. Like if you see, like you're not going to buy Breath of the Wild Switch copy 10 years down the line when Switch 2 is still going on.
If the eShop works well and it's there and it's supported and you can play it, they don't.
I just don't think people are going to go to the Switch section in Target when there's a Switch 2 section.
There's not going to be a Switch. Like, have you been in the like? It's not going to be that whole medium is dying as it's going, which is sad. But like, I think this is probably the last. We said this a week or two ago. I think this is the probably last physical media. Like I'm done with physical media on the other 2 platforms. Like I don't go buy discs for Xbox or PlayStation anymore because I have to download it anyway. So I might as well download it and not have to deal with swapping out a disc.
I have some examples. All right. I have some examples.
Okay.
How many times did we buy Super Mario Bros? How many times? How many times did we buy Super Mario Bros. World? Donkey Kong, all those games, they re-release them every single system. If they were on this, if we had to pay for them on the Switch, we would pay for them on the Switch.
But they fixed that.
Yeah,
We're buying them. We're just buying them
I'm just trying
once
to
a
say,
year,
like,
again and again and again and again and again every year with our membership.
I'm just saying we would buy these games over and over and over again. We have proven that we will. And also, how many times did PlayStation release Last of Us?
Too many.
Okay, but so gamers like us, content creators, and all of that, like Nintendo fans,
We bought 3D All Stars.
yes.
It's
But
the same thing. We've already had access to them.
what I'm saying though is like if they did come out with a new Breath of the Wild, would we get it? Us,
Yes.
because we'll talk about it. The casuals though, we just learned that Tears of the Kingdom just kind of dropped off, and that has to be because people were like, "Well, I've already."
But it
played
doesn't need to sell
Breath of the
20 million
Wild."
copies. If it's
What?
just a re-release, it doesn't need to sell 20 million copies.
But
Let's sell
in
5
their
million
eyes, they
copies.
want it to sell that many copies though, because they want to get return on their money.
But if they're just enhancing Breath of the Wild, they're not going to put that much into it. Like they're not going to put that much resources into it.
Right.
So
do the
couple
enhancement.
million
We don't
will-
So
need a
do
deluxe
the
version.
update. Do the
Yeah.
update.
but a couple million sold will recoup that money. How many remakes are we buying right now?
Too many.
How many? It's the same thing.
But again,
No. So no, the game coming out tomorrow, Mario
Yeah.
versus Donkey Kong,
Yeah.
is from a system.
Yeah,
What,
but is it
GBA,
on?
right?
Is it on
Like-
the GBA?
No,
no. And honestly,
and they
it
and they
probably
won't put it
should.
on there.
I'm just saying we would buy it. Like if they put a deluxe, people would buy deluxe Breath of the Wild deluxe. Tears
No,
of the
they
Kingdom
wouldn't.
Deluxe.
It's too soon.
Yes, they
Johnny.
would. They would 100% buy it. 100%. One in the chat if you'd buy a Breath of the Wild deluxe.
This character has consumed you, Johnny.
But it's true though. Like we can deny it all we want. We would buy these things. And like you're telling me they're not going to re-release like Metroid Dread to get ready for Metroid Prime 4 when it comes out in 30 years?
I love the tagline to Fight Club is that the things you own start to own you.
Mhm.
You ever heard that, Johnny?
No.
You've seen Fight Club, haven't you?
I've seen it. It's
Are you
fine.
saying you don't like it? Did you say it's fine?
It's fine.
Who are you?
Oh man, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say, I don't know what I was gonna say. I forget.
Something about how Johnny's wrong.
I'm not though. I am not wrong on this one.
I mean,
The games that they released early in the Switch cycle, nobody's thinking about them.
if it's bundled as a Breath of the Wild has not dropped in price.
Yeah. Wait. you're saying
If they
nobody's
sell it as a
thinking?
$60 game with and tack on an extra $5 or $10 in the eShop to sell it digitally, I don't see them selling a new SKU. I really don't. That just seems
But the new SKU is to get it into people's minds when they buy the Switch.
Do you
too.
not think like advertising a big update like what the I guess they're doing a new SKU anyway with Last of Us Part 2. But the bulk of that is done
Yeah,
digitally.
you're to buy Last of Us Part 2.
I'm gonna buy it for $10 or whatever because
Oh, yeah,
it's just
$10.
an
It was
upgrade.
$10.
So like that's the way to do it. If you want to make
But
the new
Until Dawn, doing the exact same thing. Slightly upgraded. It's a PS4 game. You could play it on PS4, but they're coming to PS5. It's the same thing.
I Smash I could see just to have it live on in the current, because hopefully that was negotiated with contracts for all these characters because it's such a thing that Nintendo doesn't wholeheartedly own. But a launch title for the Switch getting a deluxe on Switch 2, I don't see that fitting into their strategy at all.
I think this is a bet because there's 100%. It's 100% happening. Breath of the Wild will be a deluxe version. We might not have to pay full price for it, but they're gonna release a deluxe version
Again, though,
or
are you talking about,
remaster,
like,
whatever they're gonna call it.
yeah, if it's an enhanced, that's like what, $10. I don't consider that a deluxe version where I'm paying.
But they're gonna
like
release a new
$60
SKU
or
because you can buy a
$70.
new SKU of Last of Us Part 2.
That's PlayStation.
It's they're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna do the same thing. I 100. It's guaranteed. Guaranteed. They
With
might
what
bundle
game?
it. Maybe they'll have Breath of the
really-
Wild and
you-
Tears of the Kingdom bundled.
I mean, Nate,
But,
that's
like-
what Nate's talking about. I mean, we could have
If
a whole.
you
we
think
could have
that
a
they're
whole
not going to put a
suite
new
of-
SKU out there, you're just wrong. It's just wrong. We might even get it for like Mario Odyssey.
And would you be happy with that?
I don't think that
If I only have to pay $10, I would be completely fine with that.
Yeah, for the enhanced. I think that's different than a deluxe version.
But they're gonna have a deluxe version that you could buy separately, or
what's
if you
on the
already
deluxe?
own
What's on the deluxe
standard,
version? Just better graphics.
the DLC, like all the DLC, and maybe like do outfits.
Did they do that already for Breath of the Wild?
Like they don't have a Game of the Year edition. They can put a Game of the Year edition with the DLC and like visual upgrades. I can't believe you think that this is not going to happen because they're 100% doing this.
All-
The argument that you are trying to like hold confuses me because you're the one that's always complaining about like, oh, all of these remakes and oh, Nintendo's not announcing anything new, and then you want them to make.
I'm not
deluxe
saying I
versions?
want them to. I do want them to upgrade their games, to enhance their games. And it would be dumb of them to not have it as a separate SKU.
They did it already in Japan.
So like
There
a
it
Game
is.
of the Year edition.
Yeah, it's with the expansion pass on the cart.
On the cart? That's not bad.
So
But
I
yeah,
mean,
they're gonna do something. They're gonna do something like that.
they've already done it. It's there. I don't see them doing, and that didn't come to the U.S. Like,
It's not gonna be a Switch SKU. It's gonna be a Switch 2 SKU. It's exactly what PlayStation's doing.
don't. They aren't going to copy PlayStation.
But they kind of started this whole thing with all the deluxe versions.
Yeah, and everyone copied Direct.
All right, so they charged us $10 extra for some of their games from Wii U to Switch. And all they did is they added Funky Kong.
Again, apples to watermelons.
No, it's
13
not,
million.
though. It's not,
Yeah, no,
though.
it is. 13 million people bought the,
But
bought the console,
point
and
is-
even less bought the game. So
the point is,
when they-
nobody cares. Nobody cares is going to care about the Switch library when the Switch 2 comes out.
if they
like, they
make it
have to-
backwards compatible, yes, they will. That I mean,
Are you
and
saying
if it's
nobody
all
cares in the
playable-
yeah, nobody cares in the sense of they won't be playing it, or nobody cares as in like a historian.
As nobody will
Reason.
care, as in they won't be buying Switch games anymore. They'll be buying Switch 2 games.
okay,
That's-
so
So
make
they're
Switch
gonna
2
look for
games.
Switch 2 games. They're not going to look for Switch games. They're going to look for Switch 2 games.
So
so you want
don't
new
look backwards,
SKUs.
look forwards. Do new Switch 2 stuff.
Yeah, but no, I don't think you're understanding what. So we are existing customers, but they need to get new customers. And when they get new customers, the new customers aren't going to look at 7-year-old games.
Guess
They're
what?
gonna look
New
at
customers
Games
aren't
that just came out. So they'll
new
look at.
customers aren't early adopters.
Some of them are. Some of them
No,
will be.
But
Especially if 10
they aren't the
million
majority.
But even say you have a person who had a Switch and got rid of it because they didn't want to play it anymore. Now
Okay.
they come back, they're not going to be looking at Switch games to pick up, but maybe they missed some Switch games. So why not put a Switch 2 version on the Switch 2?
Because
enhanced.
if they had a Switch, they know that those exist. They're out there. There's how many YouTube videos saying these are the games you need to play. Blah 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 blah.
People aren't going to watch that. It's what they see in front of their face.
So make a
Normies
better
aren't gonna watch
make a
that.
better digital storefront and have it do its job.
There is no way this is
They
not
need
happening. Because
they need a better digital storefront for sure.
there are also like on PlayStation. I'm just using this because if they're just using the same ecosystem, even on Xbox, it has like Xbox Series X enhanced or something on it.
Mm-hmm. That's just baked in.
It distinguishes it. Same with PlayStation. There's a PS5 version and a PS4 version. Like they're gonna do the same thing.
But if you buy it digitally, you get both.
Yeah, for PlayStation.
Yeah, and it's just baked in on Xbox. So
Yeah, but that's for. I just don't think like I don't think people are going to be looking for Breath of the Wild when Switch 2 comes out.
they don't need
Unless
to be.
it's
It's a
in the
7-year-old game.
But that's the point though. They want Breath of the Wild to sell more.
No,
right?
they don't.
want
No,
these games to keep selling.
no, make something new. I don't want somebody making a whatever doing enhancements to a 7-year-old game.
But they're going to have to because they can't just they're going to have to support they're going to need a library.
Yeah, they got a library, especially if it's backwards compatible.
But like new people that are just have a Switch 2 don't care about that.
Oh man, we're going in
They don't
circles.
care about that. You'll see. This is 100% happening. Breath of the Wild is going to be the game they do it with too.
Not Tears of the Kingdom?
Well, maybe both.
It'll
but
be
like-
included with it if they do something, but open world Hyrule 2-pack.
I agree with Nate. 140 million consoles. They hit their reach with that many consoles. The new console.
No,
wouldn't
they
be big
didn't
enough.
though. But so
What do you
they
mean
need
they
both. They
didn't?
need both new stuff and like they need new stuff, right? They need new stuff. So we'll get a 3D Mario. But like what are they going to do the next month or the month after that? Like we're not getting brand new games every month. They're
Why
not going to
not?
do that. What
Why
they
not?
did with the Switch is exactly what they're going to do with the Switch 2. They're going to have, they'll have their new launch game, then they'll have like a remaster of something, and then
They'll have
a
Square
new game.
Enix, they'll have Xbox, they'll have
Maybe
they'll have
though.
Ubisoft.
We don't know.
I
You guys are smoking something if you don't think that they are going to release a deluxe version of something.
they'll upcharge us on our Switch Online and they'll provide us with some more service.
The rumor is they showed Breath of the Wild on the updated Switch.
Okay.
Well, that was the rumor.
How do you know it wasn't Tears of the Kingdom?
I don't know. I don't know what the
Because
I
they
don't know
need
if
to
Tears
sell
of the
more
Kingdom
Tears of
was
the
out
Kingdom
yet.
because that just fell off. But maybe the DLC for Tears of the Kingdom's coming to Switch too.
I
But
just
look for these on YouTube Shorts because I'm sure we got some good stuff that, that we can tell Josh to go break out and do. It's Josh's birthday today. It was yesterday. If you're listening to this tomorrow or whenever, it was Thursday. So go on Twitter and wish Josh a happy birthday, belated. If you're listening to this now, if you made it this far, you put up with Johnny for a long time. So congratulations.
You're all wrong. You are all wrong. I'm going to be so vindicated when this happens.
Johnny, where can people come and tell you how wrong you are about Breath of the Wild Deluxe?
I'm not wrong about it. I'm Johnny Bo everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and the Communication Error Podcast.
And Cheesy, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Communication Error Podcast, CHEEZYC 64.
And you can go tell Cheesy how wrong Johnny is as well, because he'll
I'm not
appreciate that.
wrong.
So
I will.
I am Nightcrawler724, Nightcrawlers without the E. TikTok and Twitter are the best spots. This is the Nintendo Powercast. Go follow N64 Josh if you're not, n64josh.com. The Discord is there
is the
as
highest
well.
selling game on the Switch, and you think that they're not going to do it again? Get out of here.
I love how upset we've made him.
We will catch you guys next week. Let me make sure I get to the right spot here. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you next time. Take it easy.